Hello and a warm welcome to the first edition of News Across Nigeria for the week. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program, the Bring Back Our Girls campaigners take up the plight of the Dapchi Schoolgirls and their families as the federal government confirms the number of students abducted. The governments of Delta and Cross River states train the youth in different entrepreneurial skills. And the Committee of the All Progressives Congress wades into the crisis in Kaduna State. Thank you again for joining us. Let's begin in the northeastern part of the country. It's a week today that the students of Government Girls Science Secondary School were abducted by Boko Haram insurgents from their hostel in Dapchi community. Now, on Sunday, the federal government confirmed a list of 110 girls as those that could not be accounted for. Parents of the students are wasting no time. A community leader in Dapchi says they intend to join the campaigners for the return of the Chibok schoolgirls to take up their plight of their own daughters. They're also finalizing plans to present their case to President Muhammadu Buhari. The Bring Back Our Girls group says it's also re-strategizing as it takes up the plight of the Dapchi girls alongside their own. Now let's get more perspective on this story. Joining us on the program is a member of the Bring Back Our Girls Strategic Communication Team, Iman Shehu. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
What's the plan now by the Bring Back Our Girls group with over 100 girls added to the victims you are fighting for?
Well, the plan is very simple. The movement has been all about rescuing girls and people who have been abducted by the insurgents. And so this just fits into what the group is all about. But of course, we don't do things without getting facts, and that's why we've been working behind the scenes. 4 days ago, we issued a statement making some demands on the federal government to provide accurate accounts of the attack and provide the identities and number of missing girls, and 2, to set up a situation room for updates on its rescue efforts. So condition number 1 has been met. As of yesterday now, we know there are 110 girls and we have their identities.
Now, one can only imagine the psychological trauma the parents of these missing girls are going through. And how does the group intend to help the parents of the Dapchi schoolgirls who are seeking audience with the president? And will it yield any fruit?
Well, first of all, how does it impact on us? We've been on this for almost 4 years. In some 30 days, it's going to be 4 years that we've been on an advocacy demanding for the symbols of abductions, the Chibok girls, to be brought back home. And there are still 112 girls out there with the insurgents, and then now we have 110. So, I mean, it's a trauma for us. Then think of the trauma of the parents who have sent their girls to school just, I understand, a few days, and then it happens. So we'll do all we can. It just means that it's like we're starting all over again.
This will be the largest mass abduction since Boko Haram took more than 270 schoolgirls, of course, from Chibok in 2014. Do you think your campaign is effective?
Which campaign? The military campaign or the Bring Back Our
Your campaign. Do you think that you've been able to...
Our campaign is effective. Our campaign is not a military campaign, so you should ask those who have the responsibility for securing the lives of citizens why this has happened. Our campaign is to ensure that abductees are returned, and so far we have succeeded in getting 3 well-known sets of abductees partially back home. We've gotten almost half of the Chibok girls back home. We've gotten the 3 University of Maiduguri lecturers back home. We've gotten the 10 Lhasa women back home. So yes, and if our campaign hasn't been effective, people wouldn't be turning to BBOG, please do something about the Dapchi girls.
What's your opinion, or what's your position on how the federal government has handled this matter, that is, this one of the girls from Dapchi? What's your position on how they handled it from the beginning? And this is a week since they've been missing.
Well, it's been deja vu in a way, because we had things that sounded and looked so much like April 14, 2014, military saying it had rescued all the girls by 8, and then turning back to say no rescue had taken place. So that has played out here. Then the inability to actually get at names and actual figures of people who've been carted away. That took quite a long time in the Chibok situation. Fortunately, we've just had about a week for this to be sorted out now, unlike in 2014. We've also had, of course, the whole issue of security failure, which is what happened in Chibok in 2014, and which is what has happened in Dapchi on 19 February 2018. But in some other ways, we can see that there's clearly some attempt to try and ensure that mistakes of 2014 are not repeated.
Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you the best. Nigerians stand with you, because all Nigerians want to see the abducted girls return to their families. Thank you so much, Mr. Shehu Iman of the Bring Back Our Girls Strategic Communication Team. Now, we'll turn our attention to other news. About 500 unemployed youth from Ogun State are currently undergoing technical training in the areas of engineering, digital technology, construction, and entrepreneurship development. This is part of the state government's efforts at intensifying its Human Capital Development Index. Addressing the trainees at the Industrial Incubation Center in Abeokuta, the state capital, the state government's representatives asked them to adequately utilize the various opportunities being offered.
500 youth from Ogun State are being trained by the state government to acquire skills in the areas of engineering, digital technology, and construction. These skills, according to the state government, will make them employable or help them become entrepreneurs.
We are going to have somewhere for the automotive industry just along the Shimuru. And when we have those things, it will create jobs for you automatically, and you can even move in there. We are talking to industries to encourage people so that when you graduate, you can be useful to them. Then I pray that even Lagos, Oyo, Ondo, everywhere will now be tapping resources from, because there are 5,000 of you, and for each group, 50 good ones will be sent out of the country, which shows that the technical skills will be improved.
We are going to be the people that will benefit from all this. When people then ask me, a job, I just open a infrastructure, there cannot be development without infrastructure development. And when we do all this, there will be the investment opportunity will come, and the company will come our way. For us to get the lead of the opportunity, we need to improve ourselves mentally and be allowed to our responsibility.
The Entrepreneurship Development Program, which is in partnership with private sector companies, will engage the trainees for up to 6 weeks, an opportunity the beneficiaries believe is coming at a perfect time.
I wasn't expecting this because it's very tough. When we did the exam was a very tough one, and I'm so happy to be among the 500 that was picked. Okay. And I'm hoping to gain a lot, because everything I've seen here is so wonderful.
I want to go as fast as possible, and I want to try my best to make up to the exam. So I'm trying to work hard on it.
The Ogun State government says it will sponsor 50 youth to Germany to further training in their chosen fields, which will be expanded to construction and automobile technology.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, the governments of Cross River and Delta State promote development for the youth, and peace in their communities. Please stay with us.